It is a Thursday, Cody, and so we know what that means. It's a game week. Steve Sarkisian met with the media today for his last briefing before this game at home, Saturday night versus Sam Houston State, as the Texas Longhorns will go into their bye week after that and then get into SEC play. Interesting notes from Sark today, some players returning, some other players that are going to be kept on the shelf. We're going to talk about our keys to victory here for Sam Houston State. First, let's talk about our great presenting sponsor, the Man Eye Institute. See life better at the Man Eye Institute. Give them a phone call today, 1-844-WOW-2020, 1-844-WOW-2020. Ask them about that next level LASIK. It's something that you can only find one other place in all of America. They're our presenting sponsor. We can't thank them enough. The Man Eye Institute, see life better. Another quick announcement here. Please tune into the channel tomorrow. Orange Bloods will be live at TCH Social in Austin. That will be Friday at noon for our unboxing special of, I guess, our YouTube. What are these, Cody? Plaques for getting to 100,000 subscribers. And that's certainly thanks to all you guys. I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing there, but it should be fun. Cody and I will be there. Cody, when are you coming into Austin tonight?
Hopefully they have breakfast because I get in tonight at like 1 a.m. So I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go right to TCH and hopefully get some breakfast and
Okay.
maybe play a couple hands.
Well, you definitely heard of them talk about that bacon, so we'll definitely have that, and make sure and tune in for that. And of course, also make sure and tune in for this show, Football with Friends, tomorrow live from Texas Beef Traders. It'll be 6 p.m. We'll be here live. Come meet us up there, man. We'll have free beers. And Cody, I can tell you one thing: I was up at Texas Beef Traders today talking with Darren, and I can guarantee this: they are going to be cooking. I wasn't sure whether or not there was going to be food this time. But let me just say this: they're going to be cooking. So if you want to come by, get some beers, there's going to be food getting cooked up. So just come out, check it out. Lomas Crossing in 620 right there in Austin. All right, keys to victory, Cody. Can I just ask you this before? What does it mean? So the big news today, I think that the big news from today, although Sark said some interesting things, DeAndre Moore is going to be back. Trey Wisner will not be back just yet. Looks like they're going to still be going with the kind of the three young running backs for this week. Let me just ask you though about DeAndre Moore and something interesting that Sark said about how he has the great connection with Arch. Do you think that maybe having DeAndre Moore out there could be something that could kind of help jumpstart him?
I think so. I mean, he's coming off a concussion protocol, so it's not like it's a hamstring where I think we're worried about him, like re-aggravating or tearing a hamstring or something as we go into a bye week. It's concussion protocol, so you either pass or you fail, and it sounds like he's passed it and gotten through it. And I thought it was interesting that Sark brought up immediately after saying he was asked about is DeAndre available? What's the update on Mosley, et cetera, et cetera. He goes, "Yep, DeAndre will be out there." And he's got a great connection with Arch. Like that was like the sentence. He was in the same sentence and in the same vein that he said that. And I just thought, that's interesting. Like he didn't just say that, I think just to say that. Like I think that those two things go together to a certain extent. I'm not sure if Arch was currently sitting at 12 touchdowns, no picks, 75% passing, if he would have pushed that into that sentence is kind of where I'm coming from for that. And I think that's a big thing because I always think back to that fade route that was like a 60-yard touchdown against Mississippi State last year, went to DeAndre Moore. And, I mean, he's got the 4.4 speed. So I think that connection has to be important. And anytime you can have as many weapons as possible, it's only going to continue to help Arch, especially when you're down your top two backs. So, I think it matters, of course.
He talked about how he's the Energizer Bunny and definitely brings the juice. He just says that just having him, his experience is what he talked about, right? Just having him out there, his experience is a bunch of these Wingo's young, Livingston's young, Arch is doesn't have much playing experience. The offensive line's young. He really says that he's a dude who he says that his confidence just uplifts the other players, and I really do think that. I know it's not really a ball knowledge take or anything like that, but it's just sort of a life understanding take that I think Arch could probably use somebody in there with a little bit of confidence and somebody to let him let his hair down just a little bit this week. Anything else stick out to you from what Sark said before we talk about these keys to victory?
I thought it was interesting. He brought up seeing the offensive line. He wants to see some of these younger guys. He brought up the offensive linemen, Nate Kibble, Brooks, and Nick Brooks, and my brain's going empty right now, Danny Cruz. And then he also brought up some of the interior defensive linemen, the younger guys like Myron Charles we've seen get snaps, and Sharma and Justice Terry. And he said, I want to see them get even more snaps and more opportunities to play. So I think they're forecasting a little bit into, getting an opportunity for a fourth quarter of young guys, which is good. I mean, I think that would put a lot of Texas fans in a good, headspace if at that point the game is that out of reach.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly that's what they're forecasting. He was saying you start talking about the Danny Cruzes of the world, and I mean with Cruz, it's not like you're saying we're going to get down to the third center. It's like we're projecting him to be the second center, but behind Connor Robertson tomorrow, with Cole Hudson projected to be out. But I think that the second offensive line would be Chapman, then they'll have Nato, I guess, unless Nato had the better week of practice than Stroh. I don't really foresee that being the case. It feels like if those guys were in a little bit of a race, and based on what we've seen in the games, I would play Nato. But last week, Stroh played fine. We talked about it. He played acceptably. And I think if they were on that same pace, wherever it's like one guy could start over the other, we wouldn't have seen last game one guy play 80 snaps and one guy play 0. And the guy that played the 80 snaps was, of course, Connor Stroh. So I would think it would go from left to right. Jaden Chapman, Nato, Danny Cruz, who will be it'll be real nice to see him get some game action, just to kind of get a gauge on where he is from a play strength perspective. Nate Kibble at the right guard, and then I think we'll probably get to see Nick Brooks at right tackle, even though versus San Jose State, when the backup linemen got 10 snaps apiece, they actually had Brandon Baker stay in with the second team, as sort of a kind of first team, second team guy, the same way that they had Nato stay in with the second team at left guard. So that'll be interesting to see here. Keys to victory. Offensive MVP.
I'm gonna go James Simon.
Oh, really?
Coming off a big game last week, I'm gonna go James Simon because this is our backs this week, right? It's Christian Clark, who's still recovering. He's still finding his footing. Got a bunch of carries last week, and I think we saw last week. He had 5 targets last week.
Did he say for sure that CJ Baxter's out, or are we just assuming?
Oh, Baxter's out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Baxter's out.
But did anybody ask him officially?
I mean, I don't remember if his name was actually brought up, but I think it was inferred.
I think we all just assumed.
Yeah, and then Wisner was just doubtful. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess nobody really. I don't think anybody.
I don't even think it needed to be confirmed. There's no way that they're going to play him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it was even a thought.
I was just
anyway, I'm James Simon. That's where I'm going. He had 5 missed tackles forced in this last game against UTEP, which is more than anybody in the backfield through the first 3 weeks. Baxter's had 3 missed tackles forced through the first in his attempts. So the first game plus no carry against, I guess, San Jose when he got hurt. But he leads the team nonetheless in missed tackles forced. I think you're going to see him get another 15 to 18 carries in this game. And in a game like this where they've tried to get the running game going, Sark talked about, the running game looking great against Ohio State. Then in the San Jose State game, they had the explosives in the passing game. The running game was choppy. And then last week, it was just they got it going, but it wasn't, the whole offense wasn't coming together. I think this is going to be the game they're trying to get it all to come together. They're going to run the ball 55 to 60 times in this game. I think a lot of that's going to come on the backs of James Simon, who I was really impressed with.
They're going to run the ball 55 to 60 times?
How many carries they had last week? 55 carries last week, right?
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was 55 carries last week.
I don't.
Now you got me questioning.
I mean, if it's 55 carries, that's like nightmare fuel for me in the deep dig next week.
I think you got me questioning myself now that of like a data point that I thought I read. 56 carries, 17 for Simon, 18 for Gibson, 9 for Arch, 7 for Clark, 1 for Caldwell, 1 for Baxter, 2 for Wingo, and then 1 was a kneel down. So 55 carries, 227 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. So I think they're going to be right in that. I mean, you have to project the same, category to a certain extent. Now, again, if a lot of these drives are more efficient, and of their 11 to 13 drives, they score, touchdowns in the air on like 6 of them or 5 of them. Obviously, it's gonna neuter a little bit of your carries, and it's gonna make it a little bit easier on Alex for charting the offense next week.
Please.
But I think Alex would prefer like 7 drives of 7 plays, 7 total plays.
Gosh, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Just 1 play, 70-yard touchdown.
And the offense of Sam Houston State just milks the clock to just try and get out of Austin as fast as possible, and they go 3 and out every time. That would be perfect.
So I'll just finish it with this. I think James Simon's going to get that 15 to 18 carries. I think he's going north of 100 yards. I think he's going to score a touchdown. And it might not be like, oh, that's the MVP, because obviously the sharp thing to do right now would just say Arch is going to have the game. He's going to get back to where he was at San Jose State. Plus, he's going to have 4 touchdowns, no pick. That's your MVP. I think that's the chalk way out. I know that's where Alex is going to go, but I'm going to take James Simon here for the plus 5,000 odds on FanDuel.
The chalk way out is for off. I'll go offense, and I'll just do defense too, because I'm taking chalk at both. You know what it is for both of these. It's Arch Manning on offense. It's Arch Manning. He bounces back, and it's going to be versus San Jose State. So I figure, or versus Sam Houston State, which is going to, I don't think it's going to get all the haters completely shut up, right? But I think it will do just enough to get the fan base at least somewhat excited coming into the bye week, and give them at least something to point back at and say, all right, he's turning the corner. I think it'll be like I've already looked on Prize Picks, the 2.5 passing touchdowns. I'm taking the more, and I'm going to package that up with others as they come online. And then on defense, it's going to be Colin Simmons. It's time for him to regress to the mean as far as, actually getting home, getting to the quarterback. This is the kind of game where he's going to be playing versus really, really, really sub-level competition. And if there were ever a time for him to get right, this is it. Coach Sark said today that he's been practicing his behind off all week. He's been practicing hard. He's been practicing physical, affecting the quarterback. He said he just said that, he says that he has to maximize his opportunities, and I completely agree. But this will be the warm up for him. I think he'll get multiple sacks is not even hot. I'll say he gets 3 sacks, 2 to 3 sacks. Maybe it's 2.5. What about you on defense?
I would go Manny Muhammad, but they don't throw to him enough.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. I think I brought him up last week. I think Simmons is probably the smart move here. So for those reasons, I'm going to go with the opposite side of the defensive line. And we've seen all the defensive tackles get through. I'm going to go with Burke and Lance Jackson. I don't remember what my take was last week. I think I was very close on the defensive tackle trio getting like 4 TFLs. I think I was close with the Canoe and Shaw thing.
Well, they both got TFL. Yeah,
I think
they had a total of 3.
Canoe, Shaw, and I can't remember who the third one was I added in there, though. But I think I was, they did 3 or I don't know. I was close. Anyway, these ends, Burke, and I want to see Lance Jackson. Burke and Lance Jackson each get a sack in this game and a TFL.
How are they going to do that if Colin Simmons is going to get 3?
Well, something's got to give, or we're just going to have a meeting at the quarterback with all these guys. So I'm going to go Lance Jackson. He's second on the team in pressures from the defensive, just from the defense, second on the team in pressures. So I'm going to go with Lance Jackson and Ethan Burke to each get a sack and a TFL on the defensive side of the ball. Man, he's broken through, I think, for our eyes, but I don't think, from the grand scheme, people have really understood that, like, there's another freshman defensive end playing for Texas that's a stud and a 5-star.
Bold prediction.
Bold prediction
yeah,
is the entire offensive line plays the cleanest game of the year, and it's across the board. No pressures, no sacks, no QB hits, nothing.
No TFLs or run stuffs.
No TFLs. Just for the bit, yes. No run stuffs either. Zeros. Clean across the sheet, and they all score higher than 79.5. Even DJ Campbell,
Mr.
Mr. 77
77.
himself.
Okay. I like that. I'll say for my bold prediction, um, three takeaways on defense. 3. Is that bold enough?
I mean, it's putting a number on it. I would say 4, maybe a little bit. I think 4 would be a little bit more bold because I think they've got like the longest running home streak of turnovers at home. I think it's like 19 consecutive home games with the turnover. So
I think 4 might be bold. So I
one
will
per
say
quarter.
I will say that my prediction for takeaways this week will be 3.